Hello, everybody. My name is Rana Mikhailos, and today I've got some called the cool kids in insults, and that is I got called a hypocrite. It's like, and I'm going to address the cries that I'm a hypocrite, but just like look at it, like look at how many people just want to just I don't know, clout chase and call other people hypocrites. I don't think it's a good idea to take all of these cries of hypocrisy too seriously. Because this is how hypocrites gets used on Twitter. Let's say you have a drunken uncle and alcohol is ruining his life. You would probably say, you should stop drinking. He goes, you're a fucking hypocrite. You said that I shouldn't drink, but you drink water. And you're kind of like, what the fuck? And days later, it would be all like, you're such a fucking hypocrite. And you're like, what the fuck? You said that drinking is wrong. But not only do you drink water, but yesterday you drank wine. And you're kind of like, fuck, it was only one glass. I never showed up to work drunk. I don't have one single DUI. I never lost my job because of alcohol. Alcohol isn't affecting my marriage. People aren't begging me to go to an AA meeting. Drunken uncle, scale doesn't matter. How long would it take until you're just like me? You keep making excuses for all the alcohol you already drink. Why can't you just acknowledge that you're a hypocrite? And the word hypocrites is used on Twitter just like that, erasing all nuance. Because if nuance is a thing, then I didn't actually say or do anything hypocritical because I don't feel like a hypocrite. Or here's like another example that I made of like a thin person saying you shouldn't eat too much and a fat-tastic, we do not want to body shame anybody. Person goes, you're a hypocrite. You said I shouldn't eat too much, but you also eat too much. And the then person's like, what the fuck? I just thought you're eating too many hamburgers and pizza. And the fantastic person says, oh yeah, well, I think you're eating too many fruits and veggies. Fuck you, you're a hypocrite. You're trying to shame me for eating too much, but you do it too, so fuck you. The problem is that it's harder to overeat on healthy food. This person is at a healthier weight, and this person that I created is in the good and good. Like their doctor has no complaints about them. Their doctor is complimenting them. Now, let's get something more relatable. I want to pick a more relatable one. You believe that lying is wrong. And many people do believe that lying is wrong. But you've lied to save somebody's life. Well, everybody's going to have an exception. You betrayed your deeply held values because you never had any morals and real principles to begin with. When I do think that many people would draw exceptions to saving somebody's life. Or here's going to be another one that's more relatable. You said that lying is wrong, but when I've asked if you were okay, you said yes, but you opened up your feelings to Mary and told her that you felt broken that your father died. Everybody needs to know what a fucking lying hypocrite you are. The problem here is this. You probably called a person a liar before out of anger and frustration. Let's say that a person falsely accused a man of rape. And we all know this person falsely accused a man of rape. You probably call that person a liar out of anger and frustration. But you probably lied about something really small. Like a person probably said, how are you doing today? And you're probably like, I'm okay. You probably just don't want to talk about it to that person because you don't know them very well. And most people aren't interested. It's your privacy and they have no right to know. I am bringing this up because I've been accused of being a pro-censorship hypocrite. But what's this? I mean, I can't scroll down any further, And, sure that this event happened on Twitter, and I don't want to give those moral, busybody, sanctimonious clout chasers any attention. But look, I mean, the thing is, Twitter doesn't have a report history. YouTube does. I flagged down Simon G and Mr. Cool, the baby dance, and the reason I flagged it down was because of child abuse. I have also flagged down on Twitter animal abuse. Wow, that must mean I am pro censorship. I have actually flagged things down. How could I flag down pedophilia? I am pro censorship. I actually hate free speech. I am public enemy number one for free speech. And if you ever flagged down, pedophilia, animal abuse, or anything, if you flagged anything down, you are pro censorship. When really, it's a lot like these previous examples. It's kind of like, I guess they have no idea what I meant when I say I am pro free speech. When I say I am pro free speech, I am saying that you should be able to use any word in the dictionary, Like, I believe that you should be able to use any and all words in the dictionary. I believe that you should be able to criticize the religion of peace. I believe that you should be able to criticize immigration. We should be able to have discussions about the border. I believe that we should be able to, change society based off speech. When I say I'm for free speech, that doesn't mean I am pro harassment, pro slander, pro defamation of character. I've always said that I am pro free speech as according to U.S. law. That means that, yes, I mean, if something like pedophilia is getting flagged down, I don't care. So it's kind of like, if you want to call me pro censorship, I don't really give a fuck, because you obviously have no idea what I meant by free speech. Because when I'm saying free speech, I mean, you should be able to criticize Islam. You should be able to, discuss how you feel about the Holocaust. I mean, you should be able to we should be able to have these discussions, but that doesn't mean that I am pro slanderism, pro libel, pro everything. That doesn't mean that I believe that you should be able to say anything and everything you want. No, of course not. Now, let's look into criticism number one, into Sargon of Akkad being a hypocrite. Well, one of the people calling Sargon of Akkad a hypocrite is an alt-right channel. It is a channel dedicated into promoting the alt-right. Let's look into another, channel dedicated to calling Sargon of Akkad a hypocrite. But, no disrespect to Tim or anything. I do watch some of his videos and whatnot. But, I mean, he is a progressive. He is an intersectional feminist or whatnot. Let's look into, like, another person who called Sargon of Akkad a hypocrite. It is Michael Rowlands. It's like there is a motivation there. The motivation to call him a hypocrite is undeniable, that he is politically motivated. I mean, it's not like there is a Christy Winters hypocrites or take down MRA's hypocrites. It is targeting a certain group of people. Sure, they are very much entitled to their opinions. And, who knows, they may have really seen something that looked like hypocrisy. But the way I view it also is that everybody has an agenda. every single last person has an agenda. Everybody has a motive for why they're doing certain things. Because why Sargon of Akkad is a hypocrite and not Christy Winters is a hypocrite? Why Sargon of Akkad is a hypocrite and not Take It Down MRAs is a hypocrite? In this case, it's probably because Sargon of Akkad is an enemy to social justice. And in the case of Girl Boo, it is probably because, Sargon of Akkad is an enemy to the alt-right. You're also going to know the exact same thing with me. The people who call me a hypocrite and myself have very vastly different contents. Like if you watch my videos and you watch their videos, you would see that my videos and their videos are nowhere near close to being anything remotely alike. Here is a little behind the scenes of the content that I'm making. I want you to see things from behind the scenes. I have a little bit over 200 books in my library. I have, I actually have like 3 books on social justice, or, if you're going to count the new Jim Crow, it would be like 4 books on social justice. I have like SJWs Always Lie, SJWs Always Double Down. I also have Primetime Propaganda by Ben Shapiro. I have the work of Thomas Paine. I have the Wealth of Nations. I have All the Devils Are Here, which is about money and finance. I have The Conquest of Bread. Do you know what that's about? It's about communism. I have, the new Jim Crow, which is for me to understand things from a social justice lens, in a social justice lens better. I have Predictably Irrational, which is, how people think and whatnot. I have Power by Robert Greene. I have War by Robert Greene. I am trying to make very thoughtful content. I am trying to put research into my content. But when I look into the people who want to talk shits about me, they are a blood sports channel. Like 99% of their content is talking shits about other people. If you go to their Twitter timeline, all they're doing is talking shits about other people and promoting themselves. Their timeline is full of them talking shits about others and trying to make their moral grandstanding. They love to morally grandstand. They love saying that everybody's a liar, everybody's a hypocrite. They try to bring other people down so that they can look good. But I actually try my best to make very good content. When it comes to 3 arrows and ContraPoints and dumpster flower, let's not forget the Rinsing Feminist. They make very good, well thought out content. They actually put a lot of hard work and efforts into their content. And I do think we need more people who are willing to make video essays. Or else you're going to be left behind. You're going to be left behind because there are going to be people who are going to be willing to do the research. You are going to have people who are really willing to You are going to have people who are willing to put in the efforts and the work to make good content in the progressive left. And if people like, if there aren't people who aren't willing to just go through books and do as much research as they can to put out good content, then people, centrists like me might get left behind. Centrists might get left behind. I don't know. And to make a Teal Deer-like video where you put a lot of research into the content you're making, it's not easy at all. For the people who want to call me pro-censorship, Because, dear Lord God, I flagged things down, and this thing isn't scrolling. There is no bar. Oh, and bam, look, if you want to know if I have another account, yes, I do have another account, of which I haven't submitted any reports. So look at how much of a flagger I am. But yes, I've got a video taken down. Oh yeah, for child abuse, and I'll do it again. And I don't care if you want to call that child. I don't care if you want to call that pro censorship. You know what? If you want to call me pro censorship, that's fine. It's a stupid false dichotomy, and I think that's something so worth censoring. I told Stick Sexenhammer before our live stream that I wouldn't mind flagging down other people's thoughts. Oh, well, it looks like I am pro censorship. Oh, well, I guess some people will have to unsubscribe to my channel. Flagging down anything makes anybody pro censorship, and I guess if you flag down other people's thoughts, I guess that makes you pro censorship too, instead of there is a nuance there that other people are ignoring. I believe that you should be able to criticize religion. I believe you should be able to use vulgar words. No, I do not think you should be allowed to slander. I do not believe you should be allowed to commit libel. I do not believe that you should be allowed to harass other people online. If that's not good enough for you, then leave. I do not view myself as a hypocrite. I view you as dishonest. My Twitter timeline has been a lot like this comic. I mean, like, this comic was all I could ever think about. It is just, the scientist saying something and then like somebody else taking it way out of context. Just keep twisting everything that the person's trying to say to make this person look as horrible as possible. I've just been dealing with people blatantly arguing in bad faith. Not all, not 100%. I did see like one friend in there. But let's look at it this way. You could be in favor of helping the environment, but you could also smoke cigarettes. From the outside looking in, it would look like you're a hypocrite, but you're probably doing things to help the environment. It's like, sure, it will probably look weird if you're saying that you're pro helping the environment while smoking a cigarette, but you probably take a bike to work. You probably roll up the windows instead of using the air conditioner. You probably do other things to help the environment. You probably, donate lots of money into helping the environment. You could also be a person who, drives cars and use the air conditioner that is also pro-environment. Just because you're doing some things that are wrong and, that are not green doesn't mean that you aren't doing other things right. People like to nitpick what they perceive as you doing wrong as opposed to looking at each and every single effort you make to do right. And usually you are doing more than what your critics are doing. The people who call me pro-censorship are the people who don't do shit to help out free speech. You probably don't hear of any free speech organizations from them. They do nothing but talk shit about people all day long. I actually do a lot of research behind the scenes to help free speech, which is more than they will ever do. So to all the people who want to call me pro-censorship, this has been Remy Kylis. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.